Why, Rose, are you suspicious of yourself, of your crimson dress, of the wilderness of spirit, of the height of your shoes, of the keening of the ocean? Why, Rose? Why? Why are you suspicious of yourself, Rose, and the keening of the ocean, and each wave a spirit beyond keening? Why, Rose, must you take my scarf from the song of the whales? The whales no one knows. Last summer, when you left, I looked at my hands. They spelt disaster. The stock market is crashing. Chickadees are chirping. People remember the gazebo where we slept out under the stars. And we remember. What do we remember? What? I have been baking pancakes at the Sunrise Laundromat for almost 40 years now. No one has a right to tell me the stock market is crashing and it's 2012. My mother and her mother before her, they all worked at the Sunrise. They all know what happens when people start a rumor and the chickadees trill. She invited me back to her house. She told me people have this belief system that invites scandal, explanation, another belief system, a lecture from the four corners. How do I know what type of memory it really is that you want to recover? I know what I have done will change the entire world. I've been squatting among crop circles for centuries. There's so much chaos now. I begin to appreciate the beauty of birds. I keep telling him, come over, come over. I know you know how I feel. But I live in a high-rise apartment. It's all the same to me if the dogwood blossoms are blossoming on a solitary tree that belongs to the corner delicatessen. I know urban poetry. You hold a grudge for so long, and you know what? You go straight to God. For how long? For how long? Perhaps lovers and fools eat from the same dish. Perhaps mermaids dwell in the abyss beneath ocean length of crimson garment. Perhaps one of them, a seal woman, looking at her hands and imagining one night at midnight she will dwell on an island. She will join a tree. What will become of her? What will become of her? Her hand turns into a fin of a seal child. What will become of the whale song once she has discarded her sealskin dress and beyond? The sea, the sea, the sea. Some people get it. Some people get it when screeing on wishing stones beside cromlechs in County Donegal. Some people get it when they're getting in out of streetcars or trolleys. Some people get it. Some people get it in the wake of time's crimson womb. Some people get it while walking out of doors into an ancient tomb. Some people get it when they try to invent a piano piece they never thought of before. Some people get it when they put on their overcoats and go walking in the park. What horrific acts are broadcast on television or by storytellers who don't know, who never got it? Some people get it on street corners selling the evening news. Who got it? Who really got it? I look out of the window. I see clouds tormented, gray and green. I suddenly come to life again. I go outside, lean in the gray-green bushes, in the pinon branches, I wait for the tiger to pounce and chew my make-believe bones. Here, beneath evergreen trees, primrose dahlias and braille daisies, in between the toes of a giant spirit rock, I linger and smile. I'm glad to pour out all my anguish regarding half a dozen mended socks and several unfinished meals, and yes, pour all my anxiety into this river of Our Lady of Sorrows. Later, I lean way back and haul my body lock, stock, and barrel towards the beseeching eyes of a homeless person. I tell him, my daughter made me do a giveaway in honor of her diligence, but only for 3 more weeks. He said, wait a minute, what are you talking about, lady? I don't understand poetry. I tell him, but this has nothing to do with poetry. He says, please, don't make me take this vest. Once in a while, it's okay to be an Indian giver. Remember those glimpses into the other world. I know you're cold. He tells me more than this. He says, but lady, you're way too old to give me your vest. I don't care if they go and shoot rabbits and deer like this. But you have to stop somewhere near a palace of the heart. I said to that man, please do as you're told. I sent my son out once to catch a fish. He never came back. It's just as if he never lived here on earth. What about the writing with which she had covered her entire body? What about the signs of the zodiac? What about my angel with blue ink oozing between the folds of one-size-fits-all clothing? What force did she unloose? Tell me, was it the tatters of a life she could not piece together in one place? How could an angel bother to pen down her memoirs? That would be impossible, a disgrace. Was she a metaphor for someone else's radiance? Certainly, in her gingham apron, it was clear she was of the quality folk. The quality, my dear. Let me tell you about some of my relatives. There's Aunt Kate, who lived on 2nd Avenue, and then I'd like to make mention of Aunt Martha, who lived on 3rd. Then there's Cousin Rose, who is from Senegal by way of Texas and Minnesota. Last Saturday, I noticed when she was skating on the ceiling, no matter what, though I asked her, my fever would not break. It seemed as if I were hearing of a land deal of some sort that had soured, that made my heart break. There'd never been a cure for drought, and the greed over natural resources, water, coal, it continued in Second Mesa. Officials had dynamite blasting and thought they'd cover every mountain and made stock reductions a reality. As if I'd floated into an empty bedroom, I kept hearing Aunt Martha talking about Cousin Rose and Aunt Kate. The talk bewildered me. It was about things I do not know, sacred fixings, a kind of inward double take. What was this I was hearing? Was it a counting down rhyme? I'm still so hard of hearing.